He was Roronoa Zoro, a swordsman from a small dojo in Shimotsuki Village, East Blue. Some called him the madman of the Straw Hat crew, others the reindeer wrangler. But across the endless sea, his blade swung for one purpose alone: to become the world's greatest swordsman. Back then, Zoro was young, naive. He believed that gripping a sword tightly was enough to conquer the world. That belief shattered the day he met two people who would change his life forever: Koshiro and Dracule Mihawk. He still remembered the heavy weight of his first bamboo sword. In that dojo was a girl named Kuina. He fought her 2,001 times and lost every single one. Each defeat burned deeper than the last, yet his will to surpass her only grew stronger. Then came the news that broke him: Kuina's sudden death. Her father handed him her sword, Wado Ichimonji. As he gripped the blade, his hands trembled. For the first time, he felt true pain, regret, and rage. That night, he made a vow to grow stronger for both of them, to make his name reach even the depths of hell. That promise became his reason to live. He trained until his hands bled, until the villagers called him insane. But he knew it was the only way to chase a shadow he could never see again. Before Kuina's grave, Zoro swore to live carrying both their dreams. His master told him if he wished to surpass Mihawk, he couldn't stay confined to East Blue. He needed to see the wider world. So at 19, he set sail in search of stronger foes. After countless battles, he met a fool wearing a straw hat, a man who smiled and asked him to join his crew. Zoro refused, but that man, Luffy, simply said he'd already decided. When Zoro looked into his eyes and heard him declare he'd become the Pirate King, something inside him shifted. From that day on, Zoro swore to protect that dream with his swords. Reality struck quickly. At the Baratier, he met Mihawk, the world's greatest swordsman. Their duel was short and brutal. Mihawk blocked Zoro's full strength with a tiny blade and cut him down. Yet even in defeat, Zoro refused. From then on, his blade no longer swung for himself alone, but for the promise he carried. In Alabasta, his sword first cut through steel. Feeling the breath of all things, he touched the threshold of true mastery. There, he learned, some fights aren't for victory, but to protect what matters. At Eni's lobby, he fought for Robin's freedom, defying the world government itself. Against Kaku of CP9, he awakened his 9-sword style, Azura. That battle taught him that a man who clings to everything can change nothing. From that day, Zoro became more than a swordsman. He became a warrior who would die for his crew. The memories of Thriller Bark burned into his soul. When Luffy fell, Zoro bore all of his captain's pain without hesitation. Nothing happened, he said. But that silence carried the weight of 1,000 screams. It wasn't pride. It was the resolve of a vice captain. Then came Sabaody, a crushing defeat. Watching his crew scattered by Kuma was a pain deeper than any wound. So Zoro did the unthinkable. He knelt before Mihawk, begging for training. Pride meant nothing anymore. For his captain, he endured 2 years of hellish training, dying and being reborn every single day. In the new world, he learned that strength alone wasn't enough. On Dressrosa, his battle with Pika became another milestone, where he mastered a realm beyond cutting steel. There, Zoro realized the truth. True strength isn't about destruction, but about purpose. To protect, to uphold a promise. When he heard that Luffy stormed Whole Cake Island for Sanji, his faith in that reckless captain only deepened. In Wano, he mastered Ryuo and awakened his conqueror's haki. When Enma drained his life force, he laughed, for death itself had become his training partner. Each brush with it made him stronger. Now, he stands just one step away from his goal, the title of world's greatest swordsman.